Hello again, and thanks for watching. Back to do another video about the Les Paul Standard 50s original series, which was brought out just about 5 years ago now, just a little bit short of 5 years, in 2019. And I wonder, is it still worth a purchase? Is it still worth buying this guitar nowadays? Let me just pop my glasses on, because I can't see a thing. Okay, that's better. Wow, hello again. Just remind ourselves of what it was about. Well, it was a Gibson going back to basics, original series, original type guitar. What they did was this. They put some nice Gibson deluxe tuners on it, Gibson style. They threw out the rich light and all the nonsense, and they put a really nice rosewood fingerboard on there. They put a nice mahogany neck, which was pretty standard for a standard in the old days. And they put some pretty nice tops. This is probably about a 2A one, but you can see some nice quilting in it. So maple top, yeah, that was fine. A big issue had been for years and still is the weight. They removed all weight relief on it. So we have here the solid slab of mahogany with no weight relief, and the maple top, obviously not relieved but nicely figured. Some of them are heavily figured, some not so much. I prefer one just lightly like this. That's what I've got this one for. So, what do they do with the hardware, the electronics? They put two burst buckers, nothing new about that, but the PAF style burst buckers. But these were 1 and 2 burst buckers, so they're slightly underwound like the old style. Bridge, much the same, ABR bridge. So, you know, that was going back to basics as well, the old AB one. Bridge, and traditional knobs in that nice colour. So we're back with a very traditional one. I'm lucky with this one. This one isn't so heavy. I have had these. I've had 4 of them. One was about 9 pounds 8 ounces. It was too heavy for me. This one's at least a pound light. That's under 8.5 pounds. And I've had them in the different colours. And have they changed since 2019? Yes, they have. Largely to do with the neck. Now this neck, I'm glad to say, is closer to the original one I had in 2019, because that was supposed to have been, you know, quite a sort of 50s neck, a larger, wider neck. Now, the last one I had, which is a beautiful guitar also, but it was similar to the 60s. I bought a 60s and the neck was too thin. And so the other 50s one I got, strangely enough, was also very thin. Now this is somewhere in between. It's a bit bigger, or quite a bit bigger than the 60s, but it's definitely not as large as the original one I bought. Is that more comfortable? It probably is, yeah, it probably is. But the necks differ because even though they cut them on a machine, they're then sanded down and shaped by hand. The other thing about these guitars, a lot of handwork goes into them. A lot of handwork. And of course, the 3-switch knob on the top. 2 volume, standard procedure. 2 tone, no pull pots on these. You pull them, you just pull them off. Nothing will happen. That's the way it is. Is it still worth buying? I think so. I think so. It's okay. Let's try the bridge pickup. High again. It was on 10. Take it down a bit. Some pretty old-fashioned sounds coming out of this. I say old-fashioned. It is an original series, and they do have these pickups underwound, and they do sound. They do sound a little bit, 50s and 60s is. They're thereabouts. The other thing they've got on the pots, which is really good, is you can lower them to the volume actually changes properly from, I said we had it on 10, then we had it on 8, but you can take it down to about 1.5. And, this bleed that they've got on them actually works. So, you can take it down from, that was 8, and that's 4. You can get it down 3. You can actually get it down to 2, as I remember, and about 1.5 is it. One's off. So the circuit bleed is a really good thing, works well on both the volume pots there. So I'm talking of pots, of course, original series 500k pots. I've had an old 2008 2009 Les Paul, and that had for some reason 250 pots in them, and a good guitar, but just didn't quite sound the same. So really, is it worth buying again now? Well, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for something with these sort of traditional older tones, bit different to the 60s. The 60s one had a lot of gas in it, had a lot of it was a bit overwhelmed, and it was very much AC/DC. Sounded a bit like the AC/DC SGs, and it sounded a bit very, very high volume rock and roll. With this one, it's slightly under my pots, and you can get that. Oops. Again, that tone, definitely the different tone to the 60s altogether. So, answer the question. Yes, for me, it's worth buying apart from one reason. And that is, of course, a big reason, and that's the cost. When I bought my first one of these, 2019, the registered retail price was $1,999, just under $2,000, £2,000. The current USA retail price on these is just under $3,000. The UK price is $2,499, and I believe some are being sold off now in sales of Black Friday and whatnot, coming at $2,199. So it's still a couple of hundred more than the original series. But musically, yeah, it's got its own niche, this guitar. It sounds very different to the 60s, and it sounds a little bit different to some of the older ones as well that I've had of the 2008, 2009, and between 2010 and 2019. Slightly different. Why I like it, because it's stripped down really. It is the old Les Paul that I knew and loved, and it does sound a bit PAFE more than the other ones that I've had and tried. So yeah, I would recommend getting it. Still a great guitar, but buying it new, I'm not so sure. I think maybe go for a used one, or like this one. This one came from the Gibson demo shop, so I paid a little bit less for it. Anyway, gone on a bit. All the best. Any questions, let me know down below, and I answer them if I can.